All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this lesson by giving all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us all this truth and who also rule and teach well. And Shalom to all the Achim in this truth and sincerity, starting with the 144,000 and the 1/3 of the nation of Israel, which we are fighting to be a part of. This is your brother Chabar Yakal coming back, Lord willing, with a quick and edifying lesson. And this should be a quick lesson. This is just something I saw on IG yesterday from WorldStar. It says Billy Eilish goes off on Elon Musk, effing pathetic pussycat biatch coward. you know, and she's right on that. All of those adjectives fit him, because he's an Edomite. He's the wicked that the Bible speaks of. All right, the so-called white men are the biblical Edomites. All right, and they're the wicked. They were created to be pretty much the antagonist on earth. They were created to be the adversary. They're the physical counterpart of Satan. The word Satan comes from the Hebrew word shaitan, which just means adversary or against. And this devil is against life. All right. But she's going in. I'm not going to lie. She's actually going in. And these are some of the things she posted on her story. It says, Elon. I really should have just went to the original person who posted it, but I wasn't really thinking about doing that. But it says, Elon Musk became the world's first trillionaire. Here's what he could do with it. All right. Hypothetically, because this devil isn't going to do none of this. It says, end world hunger. It says Musk could choose to spend $40 billion every year to end world hunger by 2030. He has so much money, he could do it in one day. I don't think these people really understand. They're talking about 2030. He could do that shit in one day and still have so much money he would never run out. And you're gonna see that. I'm gonna show the title of the lesson when I get the scriptures. You're gonna see why I titled it that. He has that much money. He could really end it in one day and still have so much money he'll never run out. His great grandchildren, hypothetically speaking, because we're not gonna be here that long. But if he was to have great grandchildren, that money would never run out. Like if this place was to keep going, which according to biblical prophecy, America is Babylon the Great, and it will be destroyed by fire. Thus saith the Bible. The scriptures, Jeremiah 51. Revelation 18, 2 Peter 3 and 10. This place is gonna be destroyed. Right when I heard that, I just heard a loud bang. I don't know what that was, but that's spiritual though. But it says by 2030. Or provide universal, safe, clean water for 140 billion for the planet for the next 7 years. Save endangered species. And all of these things that's being named. Really, the righteous is gonna be the ones to bring this on the planet Earth. I'm gonna read the rest of them, and then I'm gonna get the scriptures, because Instagram be. Sometimes when you close out of it, it'll restart the whole app, and I don't want that to happen. But it says to save 10,443 critically endangered species, Musk could pay $1 to $2 billion annually to bring all of them down to endangered status. Elon Musk is a part of it. He's a part of the reason why there's endangered species. The Tesla, the lithium required for the Teslas, and all the other, the brain, the Neuralink, all right, all of that stuff requires, lithium. It requires, resources, and them mining those resources is causing endangered species. So he's a part of the problem. He's not going to stop it. He would have to shut down a lot of his enterprise, and he's not going to do that because he's the devil. The word devil comes from the Latin diablos, which means slanderer or deceiver. And that's what Elon Musk and his whole nation is. You know, Nero. All right. Number 47. He's the wicked. You know, he's that cruel. What's the scripture say? That cruel king, that cruel ruler. But continuing on, it says rebuild Gaza at just 53.2 billion. Musk could rebuild Gaza and occupied West Bank, according to the EU. Although UN predicts this could be upward of 70 billion for Gaza alone, if he wanted to spread the wealth and aid further, he could also rebuild Ukraine, Syria at a cost of 793.2 billion. And that's chump, that he has so much money, that's chump change to him. And like $1 billion, that shit, like if you had that stacked on a pallet, that shit might be bigger than a house, I'm gonna do something real quick, and I agree. Hey, but that's her opinion. True. I'm gonna look something up real quick. Let me see what this is, and I'm gonna get the scriptures. Salakia, just out of curiosity. All right, it says, picture this, $1 trillion and 100 bills. Skip down. How much space is 1,000 pallets? If you laid out 1,000 pallets, it's saying too much. Like, I just want the simple answer. Simple picture. $1 trillion fills an entire warehouse with 1,000 shoulder-high pallets of shrink-wrap $100 bills. You could walk through it like a maze. Each pallet is $1 billion, just so you could get a visual. It probably would have been better to look up a picture, but, for time's sake. All right, now the title is They Have More Than Heart Can Wish. Elon, And I'm just going to get straight to the scriptures. Like I said, it's not going to be too long of a lesson. Matter of fact, I just thought of another one that I wanted to get. All right, Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. And what Billie Eilish, those all those adjectives, that she was using for Elon, a lot of people feel that way. All right, a lot of everyday people feel that way about these politicians, about people like Elon Musk. Okay, kill Gates. A lot of everyday people are feeling this way more and more. That's why the scripture says the course of their actions shall stand in their power. They shall not regard, their kings, But continuing on. This is when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. So the wicked is ruling. And, it told you everything he could do, being a trillionaire, being the so-called world's first trillionaire, which really there's richer Edomites than him on the planet. The international banking families, the Rothschilds, those families, they, You know, they got way more money than that. That's nothing. They own the whole planet. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. You know, Job 9:24. The Lord gave this devil the whole planet right now. This is... Oh, that was it on that. I'm going to get Proverbs, which is where the title comes from, Proverbs 72:7. It says, in his days shall the righteous flourish. Oh, matter of fact, that's not it. But it's spiritual though, because I was thinking about that scripture in Sirach. I believe it's Sirach, the 10th chapter, where it says, you know, how is it worded? Let me get it real quick, because it's actually spiritual that Psalm 72 pulled up. Hold up. Psalm 73:7. That's what I wanted. All right, Psalm 73:7. It says, their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. And that's talking about the Edomites. Okay, Esau, Edom. You know, and like I was quoting in the book of Sirach, you know, eventually one that is profitable will be set over. That's what I was trying to think of, Salakia. It kind of escaped my mind. But eventually one that is profitable is going to be, you know, put in the power seat of the earth, which is Yahweh Shai, King David, and the rest of the 144,000. You know? Yeah, this is Yahweh Shai's planet. When you read Psalm 72, it tells you that. You know, read Psalms 8. Read Psalms the 8th chapter. It tells you that. This is his planet. This belongs to him. This earth was created for Yahweh Shai, you know? And then, you know, Yahweh Shai created the elect. And because the elect helped create everything, you know, Lord willing, we're a part of it, we're going to share the reward. Because we shared in the construction. And right now we're sharing in the hell that Yahweh Shai caught. We're partaking in that. So we're also going to get the same reward. But as for Esau, it says their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. $1 trillion, and you're not gonna stop world hunger. You're not gonna, you know, help endangered species. I see why she was cursing them out. You know, like I said, more and more, you know, these average people are gonna start, you know, waking up to who the devil is. You know, and they already are. You know, so. It says they are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily. If you want to see that live in action, just go on Instagram. Look at the comments. Just go scroll through, you know, different reels. You know, go on X, go on Threads. You'll see how they speak wickedly concerning oppression. You know, that they make mockery of the hell that Jake catches. When I say Jake, I'm talking about you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which are the biblical Israelites, and also you Israelite foreigners that are scattered. But Esau makes light of what happened to the Israelites, the transatlantic slave trade, plantation, you know, slavery. They make light of it. They speak wickedly concerning oppression. Oh, get over it. That was a long time ago. You know, pull up your bootstraps. You know, you could do it too. You know, so. Damn, yellow jacket flying around me. But continuing on. Bro, these yellow jackets got demons on them. They be like bugging me. I gotta walk away. But continuing on. They speak loftily, which means proudly. It's fucking yellow jacket, bro. Salakia. Bear with me. I'm trying to get away from this shit. It's like flying in my face and shit when I'm trying to do this lesson. That's Satan. Salakia. I do a light jog to get away from that shit. They set their mouth against the heavens. Their tongue walketh through the earth. You know, they painted, you know, the Most High, Yahweh Shai, and the angels as being so-called white people. You know? And that's what that's going into, that them sending their mouth against the heavens. You know, saying, you know, oh, we could create our own water. You know, we could do what the Most High does. We could create our own water. We could create our own, you know, vegetables and fruits. We could create our own meat, lab grown meat. You know, we're gonna put a device in everybody. We're gonna, you know, rule this planet forever. We're gonna destroy the Israelites. They set their mouth against the heavens. You know. Matter of fact, let me read that last verse. It says, "Therefore his people will return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung unto them." Meaning they're gonna drink the same cup of slavery that the Israelites had to drink as punishment for all their, you know, wrongdoings, all their crimes. So I'm gonna end off with James 5. I already made this lesson a little too long, like longer than I wanted to, so I'm gonna just, you know, I'm gonna kind of speed it up. It says, James 5:1, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." If having $1 trillion isn't rich, I don't know what is. If owning, you know, all these federal reserves, you know, all of these whatchamacallit, central banks, you know, making all these, you know, monopolies and moves on the planet, if that ain't a rich man, I don't know what is. This is talking about Esau, Edom, the wicked. And it says, "Weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." We're telling you nuclear destruction is coming. We're telling you devils that survive in the bunkers, you're going into slavery. The Israelites, the elect, is going to have superhuman, extraterrestrial, immortal bodies that could fly, that could teleport. We're going to come get you devils and put chains on you, and you're going into slavery. We're going to, you know, jack you devils up. We're going to terrorize you. You know, we're gonna mock you just like you did to us. And Salaki, this bug got a damn demon on it. It's like keep flying around me and shit. Salaki. It says, "Your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of it shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire." You know, them nuclear missiles. "Ye have heaped treasure to gather for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth," and that's us. We're the laborers, the Israelites. And we're all, and the elect of us, Lord willing, we're of that, we're crying. You know, Ezekiel 9:4, sighing and crying, man. For all this fraud that's going on. These devils, you know, they're claiming to be the people. They're in the land right now. That's fraud. You know, they're counterfeit. And we're calling them out. We're calling the small hats out. We're calling the Edomites out, man. You know, we're crying. All the wickedness is going on. This shit is out of order. The food, the air is polluted. It just showed you all the things that Elon could do with that money to fix it. All those problems. We're crying about it. The endangered animals, you know, the polluted oceans. We're crying about that. No one else is. It says, "And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth," which means the Lord of armies. Because when the Yahweh Shai comes back, he's going to come with an army of angels to take down this devil. But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. And to save the elect. I have to mention that too, Salakia. But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, Bashim Kagadash, Shalom.